Here are the top 5 things I've learned as a 24-year-old about her 20s. There's this weird phenomenon going on now that you have to be this it girl and have to get kind of your shit together as soon as you're out of college. As I've entered what I like to call my sophomore year of life, 2 years post grad, these are things that I've learned that probably would help you if you're trying to navigate life as well. Number 1, make mistakes but learn from them. Your 20s are meant for you to fuck up over and over and over again until you learn exactly what to do. I'm not saying commit crimes and damage your reputation here, but the more that you make mistakes, the more you're able to learn from them. And if you change your mindset from I'm scared to fail to I'm scared I'm not going to learn something from this, I think that's been the biggest difference maker. It's the same with conversations. Like nowadays, I look for people I can learn from versus people that I have to teach them something all the time. I love to preach about what I've learned, but the only way I know anything like this is because I've talked to people who are wiser, older, smarter than me. So letting yourself be maybe not the smartest person in a room, that's perfectly normal and perfectly praised, actually. Like you should always try to be somebody who wants to learn more from people who obviously do know more. Same thing with experiences. If you're not experiencing life and learning from the mistakes that you get to make, how will you ever grow? So if you expect yourself to be perfect right when you graduate, you're not going to be. And that's coming from somebody who wanted to be perfect. And yet nowadays, I actually hope for more mistakes I get to make. So learning from your mistakes will be one of your biggest assets as you get into life. Number 2, focus on what you want. If you're somebody who doesn't want to get married and have kids by the time you're 25, great. If you are, great. Follow whichever path that you want to follow. People will try to put on what their beliefs of what you're supposed to be doing onto you. Your job is to define what you actually want to do. The only way you're going to cater your life to the one you want to live is if you're making the decisions and you're making the paths to get to where you want. What I wanted 5 years ago is probably the complete opposite of what I have right now, and what I'm thankful for what I have right now. So if you're not letting yourself grow and not letting yourself decide what you actually want, then you're not going to live a life that you are proud to live. You see many adults that are upset with where they're at, or even live a pretty miserable life. One of the big reasons is because they followed people's footsteps that they were told that they're supposed to be doing this. You're supposed to get married. You're supposed to meet the love of your life in college. You're supposed to, achieve all of these things and still be you. If you don't want the regular 9 to 5, then don't work a 9 to 5. If you don't want kids, then don't have kids. There's certain things that you get to decide, and this is one of them. You get to live a life that you really want to live. So choose the things that you want and then create paths to get to where you want to be. You don't have to follow everybody else's life just because it's preached online or preached in your hometown. Number 3, the old famous thing, comparison is a thief of joy. Just like on my second point, you get to decide what you want to focus on. Life is not a competition. You don't need to compete against the next person over or the friend that you've had forever. There's no competing. The only competition there is you. How can you be better than the best version you were yesterday? Continuously growing into who you want to be. So if you're stuck comparing yourself to what other people are doing, then you're not going to live a life that you want to live. You don't have to fit a certain box to be labeled successful. That's all in definition. That whole definition is in your hands. It's also very easy to compare, especially when you can see people's lives at your fingertips. You could also be in your group of friends and you're all talking about each other's lives. That's an easy way to compare. Not saying that that's always going to be the case, is you're always going to compare yourself to other people within your friend group, but it's natural to when you guys are all living kind of the same life but different decisions. It's easy to fall into that, but it's also easy to swipe off or shut your brain off and say, you know what, I'm allowed to be proud of other people and where they're going. There's no jealousy, no comparison when you're just happy for other people, but you're also happy for yourself. You should be proud of how far you've come and how much you've grown so that you can continue to keep growing. You are your own person. Let that sit for a minute. You don't need to compare. It's a waste of time. Number 4, find hobbies. And I'm being so serious about this. This goes if you are in school, if you're an athlete, always have other passions besides the one thing you've been defined to be. You're more than an athlete, you're more than a student, you're more than what your job expects you to be, you're more than a sister, a brother, a mother, whatever it is. You're more than that. And the best way to define those differences is by finding your own hobbies. Finding other things that you're passionate about so you can also learn about them, talk about them with other people. One of the best networking hacks I've had is to have multiple hobbies so you can have something to connect to with literally anybody you're talking to. I have a very wide range of hobbies that I love to talk about, love to do. And as soon as I hear one person talking about it, I'm like, oh, perfect. We have one thing in common already. I'm going to talk more on that. Let's ask more questions on that. One of my hobbies, big time, is writing. I'd love to write. I've been a big journaler since I was in high school. Now I have a blog, and I've been putting a lot of work into that for the past year and a half. And that's just something I get to talk about to other people of like, oh, you know what? This is a really big project that I've been working on the past over a year. Thinking of a few other random ones too. Like I just got into owning some plants. Pause. I'll show you what the plants look like. So we got my pothos, my little succulent, some turtles, some pearls. This plant, I don't know what it is, but I don't know. And then this little guy. That's one I got into just because my coworkers like growing plants, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna try it. An easy one for me was going from like journaling to scrapbooking to bullet journaling, all that. Like you can continue growing in different hobbies and continue down different rabbit holes. And it's really awesome. It's refreshing. It's something to talk about and makes you interesting. Not that you have to care whether or not you're interesting, but personally, I've always wanted to be a very interesting person who had different hobbies. Plus, in general, it's a great wellness tool if you're using your hobby to separate, your work day to yourself. Perfect way to attract wellness into your life. Taking care of you while also doing things that you love to do brings out really good energy and continues your day to be better. And number 5, who you're around affects you. The always famous phrase. You are the sum of the 5 people you're most around. I'd say it's tougher to navigate this post grad just because when I was part of the softball team, you always had your like 20 friends, and then you had some other teams that you were friends with. Now, you get to choose whether or not you want to hang out, especially if you live on your own, which is my case, I do. So I have to choose when to hang out and see these people, which was kind of hard because I love alone time, but there is an extent of alone time that you shouldn't have. So I'd say it was pretty hard to navigate. The great news about this is that you get to spend your energy the way you want it to be spent. If you didn't like wasting your energy on people who just complain with no solutions, you don't have to hang out with them. If you like being around those people that are always coming up with different ideas or just full of good energy, you don't have to think too hard when you're around them. Find more ways to see those people. You have the power to associate yourself with people that you want to associate yourself with. This is something I've had to constantly remind myself on because I've stayed close to people who I was either like already comfortable with or people I've grown up with or whatever it is. They might not have been the best people, but they were who I knew. Nowadays, I've put myself in different rooms and made new friends and made really good choices of people who are in my life. So I'd say to reframe and know that you're worth more than that. You get to choose who you want to spend your time with. You deserve to be around people that you spend your energy well around. You deserve to be around people who are good people and feed you energy. You deserve to be picky, and you deserve to love to be around these people. You don't have to spend your energy on people who don't make you feel good at the end of the day. That's one of the big choices you get to make in your 20s, and it alters the rest of your life, truly. If you're constantly around people who don't believe in themselves, guess what? You're probably not going to believe in yourself either. Those people will also try to hold you down. When you choose where your energy is going, that's when good changes start to happen. So those are the top 5 things I've learned so far in my 20s. I'm sure there will be a completely different list when I'm 25. But as a 24-year-old, these are things that have helped me live a life that I love. Why I've created this channel is because I've applied a lot of things that I've learned within my first year being post-grad. I was around really awesome people who put me in the right direction, and mentors. That's another big thing. Speak of people, find yourself a great mentor, or a few in any case, and find people who are going to support you. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great week.